Maria had been a widow for 3 months. Her husband, Andrew, had died in a train accident during a stormy night. He was returning from a business trip. The train derailed, and Maria never got to say goodbye. Since then, she had never stepped near the tracks again. She was always disappointed and crying for her husband. She always kept their marriage pictures on the bed while sleeping. Every evening at 9:15, the same time Andrew's train was supposed to arrive, she would stand at her window, watching the rails vanish into the distance. Her heart always hoped for something, though she didn't know what. One night Maria sat by her window, knitting in silence. The wind was strong, and the trees outside danced in the dark. Then she heard it. A train whistle. But that was impossible. No train ran after 9:15 on that line anymore. She stood up slowly, her hands trembled. The whistle came again, long and low, like it was crying. Then came the sound of wheels, steel grinding on tracks. She looked out, there was no train, just fog. Thick, heavy fog rolled in from the tracks and covered the garden like a blanket. And in that fog stood a man. Maria's heart nearly stopped. He wore a black coat, his head was lowered, his shoulders were broad, just like Andrew's. "Andrew," she whispered, her voice barely leaving her lips. The figure didn't move, but the fog grew thicker. Then he raised his head. Maria gasped. It was him. His eyes were pale, almost silver. His face looked tired but peaceful. Maria stumbled backward. "No, you can't be here." The ghost of Andrew stepped closer to the window. His lips didn't move, but Maria heard his voice inside her mind. "Why didn't you come to the station, Maria?" Tears filled her eyes. "I didn't know it would be the last time." She reached for the window latch, but it creaked open on its own. The fog slithered inside like a living thing. It wrapped around her legs, her chair, and her walls, and Andrew walked in. No footsteps, just gliding. He stood in front of her now, tall, cold, quiet. Maria's tears fell freely. "I've missed you so much." Andrew raised his hand and pointed to the clock. It was 9:15 p.m. Then the room changed. The walls fell. Maria suddenly stood inside a moving train. She looked down. She was wearing her wedding gown. Andrew sat beside her and smiling. For a moment everything felt normal, but then the lights flickered. The train jerked violently, the windows shattered, screams echoed, smoke, fire, blood, and Andrew trapped under metal. Maria screamed as the memory swallowed her. Then she was back in her cottage, shaking and crying. Andrew's ghost stood by the door now, his silver eyes stared at her. "Come with me, Maria." She shook her head. "Not yet, I'm not ready." Andrew didn't move. After some time, he faded into the fog. The whistle blew once more, low and lonely, and everything was silent again. From the next day, it started every day, and Andrew asked the same question to Maria, but she replied, "Not yet, I'm not ready." The same thing had continued for 7 days. On the 8th day, Andrew got angry when Maria replied the same. Andrew shouted in a scary voice and replied, "You have to come with me because I need you." Then he vanished in fog. A few days later, Maria suddenly became very ill. Her body began to feel such burning and pain that she stopped eating and drinking, and she couldn't sleep at night. Within a few days, Maria's entire body had dried up and turned to wood. It looked as if someone had just put skin on a skeleton, and in between, all over her body, were just bruises, red cuts here and there, and black bruises there. Maria began to writhe in pain and occasionally looked around and shouted, "I won't go." A few weeks later, Maria died suddenly one day. When the police found her body, they saw that her entire head was twisted as if someone had twined her neck. Her unnatural death is still unknown to everyone.
Please like, share and subscribe to our channel to support us.